You have to become okay with the idea of doing less today to get yourself started and generate momentum, and then you can keep going until you end up doing more than you thought you could in one day. So you'll tell yourself, I'll do the minimum amount that I think I have energy to do or energy enough for today. And then after you start, you can ask yourself, should I push more? Could I push myself more to finish more items or more things today? After you finished the minimum. So you began by telling yourself, I will do less today. I will do a very small amount of work today. I'll make very little progress. I will finish, a small number of things or small things like the same amount of tasks, but they are easier to finish. You will give yourself a small goal. And after you finish it, or finish those small goals, you will ask yourself, could I push myself more? Can I do more today? And in most cases, you can end up doing more. If you kept adding a goal after you felt the rush and the high of finishing a few small goals initially. After you finished a bunch of goals, you will always feel the motivation to do more today. But when you're still starting out, you still have less reward, you still have less dopamine, you still have less motivation to work on anything in the first place. So from this place, if you ask yourself, should I do a ton today? You will get, ample discouragement and frustration and lack of motivation towards doing any of your big aspirations that you set yourself to do today. You will feel overwhelmed. You will feel that this is too much for one day. Despite the fact that if you finished a few things and got the rush and the high and the reward of completing a few things today, even if they're small, but they got you that dopamine, they got you that high, they got you that reward or rush that can give you the energy to finish way more than you thought possible for today or for one day. This can always happen, and it could be an argument that you have every single day. Like every time you try to be productive, you always have this argument. Should I push myself to finish those 10 things? You will always ask, I should just finish 2. But then you finish the 2 and you end up finishing 15 in the same day. And this happens every single day. Like you could ask yourself, why don't I just set myself out to finish 15 from the start? Like, why don't I just shortcut this and short circuit this and end up planning that I will finish 15 things today anyway? Because this is what always happens. Despite that, if you do this, you'll end up finishing like 7 or maybe even finishing 0. Like you will have less productivity if you thought this way, because the overwhelm will lead to anxiety and stress, which will decrease your productivity and your intelligence and your executive functioning and your abilities, and you will end up finishing less just because you think that your goals today are too many or too big to finish in one day. If you didn't have that negative thinking, you could have finished 20. You could have finished more than you planned or thought you could. But the overwhelm of the stress of planning too many for one day is what made you fail today to finish anything. So that to bypass this, you always have to go through this argument of saying, I will just finish 2, 3 tasks maximum, and then I'll take a break and take, the rest of the week off. And then you finish those 2, and then you find yourself, hey, I want to finish 7 more. And you finish 7. And then, hey, let's push it to 15. And you finish 15. And hey, we can do 20. And it becomes like a challenge. Could I do more? And you'll end up finishing 25, 30, and you will have the most productive day, which began, it snowballed. It kept, increasing. It began by, I don't have energy to finish 2 things. I don't have the momentum or motivation or enthusiasm to finish 2 things. But you ended up finishing 25 or 30 at the end of the day, just because you promised yourself you can leave after 2 things only if that what you felt like at the time. Like if you felt that it made sense to leave now after finishing 2 tasks, you're allowed to do so. Since you're allowed to leave after you felt like it's impossible for you to push yourself any further, to push yourself after you finished 2 tasks only, if that became impossible, you didn't have the energy, and you allowed yourself to leave, just the thought that you're allowed to leave is enough for you to think that I will not be stressed about this because I'm allowed to leave. If I had a breakdown, if I had zero energy to continue afterwards, I'm allowed to leave. That removes the stress and makes it easier to finish the 2 things. And you're allowed to do nothing. But if you had no energy to push yourself and you're allowed to leave, then why not try? There is nothing wrong with that. But the problem, the thing is, you will always want to do more because you will feel as tired anyway afterwards. Like the amount of fatigue you'll have after finishing 2 tasks is the same as 25. Like you will hit exhaustion anyway. You will feel like you're done for the day anyway after whatever amount of tasks you finished. If you finished 100 tasks, if you finished 100 things, if you've accomplished 100 goals today, you will feel as exhausted as you will feel from accomplishing 2. Perhaps you will feel even more tired if you've accomplished only 2 or 3 goals today, or 3 tasks or 3 things today. Why? Because when you leave, you are done. You don't have any more energy. You will leave feeling fatigued and exhausted. It is the same. You cannot become more exhausted by doing more because you've already hit maximum exhaustion after doing less. Why did you leave? Because I couldn't push myself more, which means I didn't have any more energy to keep pushing myself, which means I left when I'm done. I left when I felt like I'm done and I had zero energy to keep pushing myself. I left when I'm really tired. I left when I was really too tired to keep pushing myself and trying to do more, which means I left with zero energy anyway. So if you're gonna feel tired afterwards anyway, why not do more, which would make you more satisfied, which would make you more motivated when you are resting, and now your body is enthusiastic about the repairing process, about the recovery process, about the resting process, and so it finishes it faster. And we're not talking about something miraculous here, but you will find that you will be able to rest in 10 minutes, the equivalent of 10 days, if you've done less. Like if you've done more today, let's say you've accomplished 100 tasks or goals or things today. The fulfillment that you get from this will make whatever recovery or regeneration you complete in 10 minutes equal to the amount of recovery and refreshment and, regaining of your energy and regeneration that you get from 10 days. It is that huge. Just because you're fulfilled when you've left. Because the thing that is common between both instances is I'm exhausted. If you finish 2 tasks or 3 tasks, I'm exhausted and I'm done, and that's why I left. I didn't have any more energy, and that's why I left. So I left when I was feeling really too tired to push myself to do more. So the exhaustion will not be more in any of the cases here because I already hit maximum exhaustion in the first case when I did less. I cannot become more exhausted when I do more. But the difference is when I did more, I have more fulfillment and satisfaction and happiness and a sense of accomplishment, and I feel like I did something amazing today, which is making me so happy. And this state helps with the recovery process. It helps with regaining your energy and recovering faster. It maximizes the rate of regeneration of your energy and your, capacity to do more. It makes you hit the state of being well rested faster. It helps with the rest. It helps with having fun and, whatever you do after that to relax. So it makes you regenerate your energy faster It helps with the recovery process very much, to the extent that whatever time you take as a break afterwards will, like miracles will happen in it. 30 minutes will be the equivalent of resting for 30 days. You literally can take the rest of the month off afterwards and feel no difference. I am as tired as I was at the beginning, but after you are really fulfilled, and then you've left, now when you are at that point of maximum fulfillment and satisfaction and sense of completeness and achievement and accomplishment, you will feel very good. Even 30 minutes will feel so good. You will feel so refreshed afterwards and recovered, and the recovery process will be way of higher quality. So it will be way better, and you will recover more and faster within less time. You will regenerate your strength and energy and abilities in less time, and it will be more fun. It won't be like a punishment. It won't feel like it's a bad thing that you have to sit through until it's over and you wish it could be over sooner. No, it will be something that you are looking forward to and you are enjoying it while it's happening. It will be high quality regeneration just because you finished more today, and the exhaustion is the same. But you have more fulfillment now, so you're happier during the recovery process, and now you regenerate your energy faster and better. So you leave afterwards with more fulfillment. And that's why you get motivated, even when you're tired, to finish more. You just have to trigger the process by starting and trying to finish the minimum amount of tasks or goals or things possible for you to do today, which could be like 2 or 3 tasks, or maybe even 1 task. And then ask yourself, can I push myself? Do I really want to do more? Can I do more? And if the answer is yes, and it comes with enthusiasm and motivation to do more, and you really feel like doing more, and you have a powerful urge to continue and do more, then by all means do it. And keep doing more until you feel I've hit that high or rush of achievement, and now I can leave happy and fulfilled, having felt that I've made a difference today, like I've made amazing progress today, and now I can leave feeling fulfilled and happy. And that could mean that you can be more productive, but you have to start the initial part of that progress by telling yourself, I will do the minimum and it will be that's it. I will do the least amount possible that I can do. And I am allowed to leave. And I will not do much. I will do less. And I'm actually aiming to do less. I'm actually aiming to do the least amount possible today from the beginning. When I was just getting started, I was always aiming low. I never aimed big. I only aimed big after I have finished the low, after I have finished the initial few goals that I've set for myself today. I never told myself that I will finish a ton of stuff from the beginning. I only proposed that after I finished 2 or 3 tasks, after I felt good enough, like I'm really fulfilled enough to ask myself, would I like to finish more today or not? When the answer is hell yes, then I will do so, and I always end up being more productive. But I never set out to do all that amount of stuff from the beginning. I only asked myself that question after I finished a small amount of goals at the beginning. You always have to aim low at the beginning, every single day, no matter how much accomplishment you've done previously or recently or yesterday or whatever, or throughout your lifetime. You always have to aim low today, because you're starting from a position of depletion, of zero dopamine, because this is a new day. So aim low and start wanting to do the least amount of work today, and then you're allowed to leave. And then if you wanted to add to this, you can tell yourself, I can do more if I want to. But that only happened after you've aimed to do the minimum possible today.